It's time for At Home with the RubberDucks, powered by First Energy. 640 WHLO gets you closer to your hometown team with stories of the game and updates from the season ahead.
Line to left center, that's a base hit and a game winner for the Akron RubberDucks.
Akron RubberDucks baseball, affordable family fun.
High drive to right, that's well hit, back, that ball is gone, it's a home run.
Here's your hosts, Marco Lanave and Jim Clark.
Hello again, and welcome into this edition of At Home with the RubberDucks. Marco Lanave, joined by my broadcast partner Jim Clark, as we wait for baseball to resume. We're still talking baseball here on the Home for the RubberDucks, 640 WHLO. We got to visit this past week with another RubberDuck from home, taking fan questions and sharing them, getting answers from Sam Hentges, who joined us, Jim. And gosh, these are just fun conversations with these guys.
All these guys are such likable young men, and they're very articulate, and Sam's no different. Sam was very fun to talk to, and I see Sam is a big 6'8" lefty. What he's gone through, which he talks about what he's gone through, to me, the best is yet to come for Sam Hentges.
The Indians, we know, like him, he is on the 40-man roster for the Cleveland Indians, was when he joined Akron at the start of 2019. We'll share that conversation with you. And then, Jim, you sat down with one of those insiders, the beat man for the RubberDucks for the Beacon Journal, Brad Bournival, and that was an insightful conversation on him as well.
Brad's a great guy, and he loves the game so much, and it comes out, and you can tell in our conversation Brad's missing sports on every level right now very, very much.
You know, we're fortunate to have him covering the RubberDucks as well. And we're glad that you are continuing to listen to At Home with the RubberDucks. We want to offer a special promotion to you when you shop in the RubberDucks team shop that is currently online only. You can use the promo code RADIO, and you'll get 20% off baseball caps in the RubberDucks online team shop. Go to AkronRubberDucks.com. Use the promo code RADIO to get 20% off baseball caps. Also, go to the RubberDucks online team shop to continue to support local COVID-19 relief. That is a partnership with the United Way of Summit County here in Akron. And you can go to the Quakron Cares package and purchase that, make your donation as we continue to work back from COVID-19 relief as well during this time. So we want to continue to share baseball with you, and we take you to our conversation with RubberDucks fans asking questions of 2019 RubberDucks pitcher Sam Hentges. Sam, first of all, thanks for joining us. And where are you joining us currently?
I am in Phoenix, Arizona. First of all, thank you for having me. I'm excited. I think it's 105 degrees outside, so not to rub it in anyone's face, but it's very nice outside.
Well, the weather is getting better here in Ohio. And, of course, we want to get into your baseball journey a little bit. We'll start with one that Charlie S. sent in. How many years have you played baseball, Sam?
I kind of grew up around baseball. My dad played baseball and taught me at a young age, probably maybe 3 or 4 years old. Started playing T-ball, swinging the bat, maybe 5, something like that. So I've been playing baseball for almost 20 years now.
Here's one from Patrick A. When you were 10 years old, what were you doing to become a better baseball player and a better pitcher?
When I was 10, I would probably say just loving the game and trying to be around it as much as you can, whether that's playing wiffle ball in the field with your friends or in a backyard or something. I was always kind of wanting to be around the game and wanting to play all the time.
From Patrick D., what one thing set you apart from everybody else? In other words, made you up better than others in baseball? What set you apart?
Probably what I was just talking about, probably the love for the game and kind of that drive and always wanting to get better. I kind of started that from a younger age, and I always thought that I liked the game a lot more than a lot of people on my little league teams and stuff like that, and I always wanted to get better.
Were you always the biggest kid that you played with at those early ages? I mean, being 6'8" now, you probably were not 5'5" then.
Right. I've always been pretty big. It wasn't I haven't been as crazy tall as I am now. It was kind of a gradual growth throughout my years in Little League and high school. But yeah, I was always definitely one of the bigger kids on my baseball teams.
All right. Well, speaking of Little League, Sam, Noah E. wants to know, how many home runs did you hit on the 2008 Red Sox Little League team?
Oh, my gosh. I'm trying to think of how old I would have been then. There was one year that I remember that stuck out. It was my best year hitting in Little League by far. I think I hit like 26 home runs or something that summer. It was kind of over the course of 2 seasons. But that's when the fences were very short. They were about 200 feet, and the bats they used to make were crazy. The ball used to fly off the bats back then.
From Matt H., who was your favorite baseball player growing up?
I would probably have to say Torrey Hunter with the Minnesota Twins. I grew up in Minnesota and was a Twins fan growing up. And he was kind of with the Twins when I was younger. Liked watching him rob home runs at the Metrodome. That's kind of the best memory I have of Torrey Hunter.
Well, from one Minnesotan to another, I guess. Of course, Sam and I both from Minnesota. But Avery L. wants to know, from which Major League player would you dream of getting pitching or hitting lessons from?
That's a good question. I think a pitching lesson with Greg Maddux would be absolutely life-changing. I think he would help me out with my control and probably like a mindset or something that he had that allowed him to be so locked in and kind of had control over the whole game. So definitely Greg Maddux.
Is there any player that you've been compared to that you think is fairly accurate?
I think current big league player, his name's James Paxton. He's with the New York Yankees right now. We kind of have similar physical features. He's a pretty big dude as well, left-handed, and we throw the same pitches. So I think James Paxton would be probably a decent player comp for me.
Sam, have you met Sudden Sam McDowell yet, and do you know who he is?
No, I do not.
When you first pitched for us, my first thought was the Indian lefty.
Okay.
It was 6'8", Sam McDowell, threw 100 miles an hour, 120 games, struck out 325 guys one year. And when you see a 6'8" lefty, my mind goes right back to 1968 right away and Sam McDowell. So you got some big shoes there, but you're not that far. What's your favorite moment from your time in the Indians organization?
I think there's a couple. I think one obviously that stands out is being drafted by the Indians. It was a very cool experience. We got to go to Cleveland. They brought my family and I out to Cleveland. We kind of toured the city, went to a few Indians games. And then that first year we won I know it was rookie ball, but we won the championship of the rookie ball league. That was a fun experience. And probably my first big league spring training. That was definitely very, very cool to see all the big leaguers and how they go about their business and on an everyday basis. So I'd probably say those three things are pretty cool moments for me with the Indians so far.
Were you in awe of guys like Kluber?
Yeah, I think it was just very cool to watch him because, I mean, you see all this stuff in the media and you see all this stuff on SportsCenter, whatnot, and then you kind of get to, like, your teammates with him in spring training. Granted, there's a lot of people there, but I was very focused my first spring training kind of watching him, how he handles his business. He is pretty robotic, but he's a master of his craft, and it was very cool to watch.
That was pitcher Sam Hentges, and this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks was brought to you in part by Howard Hanna and Moe's Southwest Grill, both partners presenting RubberDucks baseball. We'll have more with Sam Hentges right after this.
You're listening to At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO, your new home for Akron RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Here at Sarah Auto Park, community service has always been a priority of ours. These days, that spirit is more important than ever. Join us as we do everything we can to take care of our doctors, nurses, all other essential businesses, and their employees. If our community needs us for anything, even to safely get a bag of groceries to our most vulnerable, we're here. We'll get through this together. Sarah Auto Park.
This is RubberDucks broadcaster Marco Lanave. When people ask me who's the number one pick for print and copy solutions in the Akron area, I tell them Meritech, the pride of the RubberDucks for the past 9 years. Meritech's roster also includes IT consulting, cloud voice and data services for a powerhouse lineup to reduce risk, control costs, and increase productivity. So call Team Meritech today and tell them the RubberDucks sent you. Meritech Technology to empower your business.
Exceptional care means having access to world-class physicians and services. That's the care Cleveland Clinic Akron General provides to Akron and the surrounding communities. Whether it's primary care or specialized services, we put your needs first with care that is comprehensive and, best of all, close to home. Cleveland Clinic Akron General is committed to the community and your health. To learn more about our services close to you, visit akrongeneral.org.
KeyBank makes it easy to manage your money anytime, anywhere.
I am crushed for time.
KeyBank can help.
How? And how soon?
You have a smartphone?
I have to. It keeps me organized.
Download the KeyBank mobile app and then use your phone to deposit checks on the go, transfer money, even pay bills automatically.
Awesome.
Indeed. Learn how you can make even more financial progress when you use the Red Key. Only at KeyBank. Visit key.com or your local branch. Member FDIC.
Are you looking for a great apartment with the best location? Fir Hill Towers Apartments is just a 5-minute walk to the University of Akron or a 5-minute drive downtown. You'll find spacious living, convenience, and fun with a wide variety of restaurants and entertainment just outside your door. Perfectly suited for young professionals and students on the go looking for off-campus living. Stop by 55 First Street Hill, Akron, or call 330-762-7000. That's 330-762-7000 today and reserve your apartment home.
For a lawn that looks as good as Canal Park, depend on Grassmaster. They're a locally owned and operated full-service lawn and landscape company. The development of a healthy and attractive lawn or landscape requires a great deal of time and hard work. It's Grassmaster's commitment to providing the necessary ingredients of knowledge and treatment materials to develop a healthy and attractive lawn or landscape. By choosing Grassmaster as your lawn and landscape company, you are assuring that your investment is protected and will grow in value year after year. Visit thegrassmaster.com.
Everyone at Honda wants you to be safe. And right now, you need a car you can count on and your dealer to go the extra mile. So if your Honda needs parts or service, we're right here ready to help. Working to follow all government guidelines in order to get you what you need and help you stay safe with a reliable car that's ready to go when you need it.
Visit NorthernOhioHondaDealers.com.
Your business has a story to tell. Let Fast Signs Medina help you using the right mix of visual communication solutions like signs, banners, digital displays, fleet graphics, mobile marketing, health and safety communications, and so much more. Give Fast Signs Medina your business challenge and we'll come up with a plan to grow your business, reach more customers, and accomplish more than you ever thought possible. Fast Signs Medina. More than fast, more than signs, more than ready to help you grow your business. Call today and say Go Ducks for your discount.
This is At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO.
Deep drive out to right field. Rafaela turning, watching. It's gone to the Bud Light line. Tiki Terrace.
Your new home for RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Welcome back. This is Marco Lanave, and this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks is brought to you in part by Habitat for Humanity of Summit County and Papa John's, both part of our lineup presenting RubberDucks baseball. Jim Clark and I now continue the fan question-driven conversation with Cleveland Indians prospect Sam Hentges. Sam, this question is from Brady P. He's asking about college. Now, we know you were drafted out of high school. Where had you planned to go to college?
I was going to go to school at the University of Arkansas, kind of a random school being from Minnesota, but I think early in my high school career, I had said I'd always wanted to play baseball down south in a warm weather state or a warmer weathered state. So that was, it kind of checked all the boxes for me.
And a follow-up to that, have you been able to do any college coursework over the past years?
Definitely. I've taken some online classes over the past couple of years. I started when I had Tommy John surgery in 2016 and usually do about a semester of schoolwork every off season. So I'm school eligible wise. I'm a junior. So yeah, I have 2 years down and a couple more years to go.
So do you have a major, or did you have to declare that yet?
Not really, but I'm a business management major. I think that's what I'm going to go into. I think it's a decently broad major, but I've always wanted to be in business and thought of myself as a businessman.
All right. And with Arkansas, you mentioned, what attracted you to the school and the program at the time?
Like I said, it was in a warmer weathered state. It was kind of I didn't have a lot of interest from schools down there because most of the schools in Florida, California, they stay at home and they take kids from in-home state. The campus was awesome. The athletic facilities were absolutely unbelievable. They were so nice. The fans there are awesome. We like the coaches. And, we just thought it would be a good fit. It didn't end up happening, but, it was definitely fun to think about that and dream about that as a high school kid.
A three-parter now from Tab and M. Your favorite part about Akron, your favorite team to play, and your favorite AA stadium to play at.
Ooh. My favorite AA stadium to play at other than Akron, correct? Obviously. We only went there one time last year, but I really liked Hartford. I thought their stadium was very nice. I think it's a newer stadium. It was pretty well done. My favorite part of Akron, might not be my favorite, but I enjoyed going to it last year, was the Akron Zoo. Had a good time there. Went with my girlfriend and my sister who were in town. Went there, had a good time. And obviously Diamond Deli, which is right across the street. Go and pick us up out there before a lot of the home games. Yeah.
And your favorite team to play?
Favorite team to play? I like to play Erie. Last year, I feel like we played them a lot. The Erie Seawolves, they had a good team. They had a really good pitching staff. So when the pitching matchups came out and I saw I was going against one of their studs, it kind of gave me a little extra motivation because I knew that our hitters knew that their pitcher was a stud. So I was hoping that they would think so too. So it would be a good pitchers matchup.
That was against Casey Mize in the area, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, that was a fun game. I think I pitched against Matt Manning as well last year. Who those two guys are? They're good. They know what they're doing. That whole pitching staff with Erie was very good. Every one of them polished, young. They had great stuff, good command. It was fun to watch them. Even when I wasn't pitching, it was fun to watch.
All right, this one from John T. Is signing autographs as a pro baseball player anything like you imagined it would be when you were a kid?
Yes and no. Obviously, it's always very cool when someone asks you for your autograph, and I don't think that'll ever get old. But I do think it is funny sometimes how people who are seeking autographs, usually older people, who are collectors and stuff like that, they mistake you for someone else. And like I got mistaken last year for Nolan Jones at least 25 times. And I get it. We kind of look alike, I guess, but he's definitely more of a lot bigger deal than I am. So he had a lot more people asking for his autograph, but I definitely was asked to sign a lot of Nolan Jones cards last year.
Did you sign any?
I didn't, no.
Now, who was your biggest autograph that you went after as a kid that you got?
Probably Joe Mauer. One of my family friends actually he was in a marketing agency, and they had a deal with the Twins, and they were doing a commercial with Joe Mauer. And Joe Mauer was supposed to be playing catch with a couple of kids in an outfield, and I was one of the kids that he was playing catch with in this commercial. It's probably out there somewhere. I haven't seen it in a while. But I got his autograph that day, and it was super cool for me.
I like that. From Tim F., your biggest takeaway from the 2019 season?
I think my biggest takeaway when we're talking about pitching and just kind of the day-to-day grind is probably how to deal with failure. I didn't have the greatest 2019 season. There was a lot of failure in there, but I think I've learned to handle it better over the course of the season. And I mean, that's just something that comes with anything really. And everyone's got to learn how to adapt when you do fail. And I think that's something that I learned a lot last year.
All right. Well, I guess this question from Drake is about video game playing. I don't know how much you've been playing video games, but he wants to know, what is your personal record for kills in a game of Fortnite?
I used to actually play Fortnite a decent amount right when it came out. I don't play it anymore. I think I had maybe 10 kills in one game one time and thought I was super good. It's super cool. And I know that I don't even know if that's a lot, but yeah, I haven't played Fortnite in a while, but that I think is the most that I had in one game.
Sam, Tavin M wants you to say hi to his friend Nico, who's a huge fan of yours.
Hey, Nico, how you doing?
And then Tavin has another question. If you had to live with one of your teammates for a year, who would it be and why?
Wow. There's a lot of pros and cons to everyone. I've lived with him before, and I'm actually living with him now, is Nolan Jones. I think because I'm a fairly neat person. I'd like to consider myself an organized person, and he is the same way. I get kind of flustered when things aren't neat and tidy and dishes are just sitting in the sink all dirty. But he does a good job of doing that, so I think I could live with Nolan for a year.
Do you have any idea how many roommates you've had over your baseball career?
It's a lot. It's definitely been a lot. If I had to give it a number, it would be probably 30 different roommates, because they kind of match you depending on who's on the roster and stuff. Like hotels on the road, they sometimes match you with someone different every time. So I've been with plenty of roommates.
From Kara P., how you're handling not playing baseball right now?
It's difficult, definitely, because I'm so used to, and everyone else is so used to watching baseball right now. I'm used to playing baseball. But I think it's been good for me. I'm about to drive home and see my family. I haven't seen them and usually don't get to see them at this time in the year. So I'm excited to see them and kind of go home for a little bit. But it's like everyone else is trying to take it 1 week at a time and see if there's any updates. But yeah, so far I've been staying sane, been golfing a little bit, and been watching Netflix, doing stuff like that. So I've definitely been busy, but definitely want baseball to come back as soon as possible.
That was pitcher Sam Hentges, and this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks was brought to you in part by Stanley Steamer and Chick-fil-A, both on the team of partners presenting RubberDucks baseball. For your chance to be part of a future Indians Prospect Q&A powered by First Energy, visit akronrubberducks.com and follow the RubberDucks on social media. I'm Marco Lanave, and after the break, Jim Clark will visit with Brad Bournival, who covers the RubberDucks for the Akron Beacon Journal and Ohio.com. That comes your way right after this.
You're listening to At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO, your new home for Akron RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy. This is At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO.
Here's the relay. The throw home will not be made. That's an inside the park home run.
Your new home for RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Welcome back. This is Jim Clark, and this portion of At Home with the Rubber Ducks is brought to you in part by Ambridge Hospitality, Fairfield Inn and Suites, and the Courtyard by Marriott Akron Fairlawn, all presenting Rubber Ducks broadcast on AM 640 WHLO. And we're talking with Brad Bournival from the Akron Beacon Journal, Ohio.com, the Medina Gazette. And Brad, thanks for taking time with us on At Home with the Rubber Ducks today.
No problem. It's really good to talk to you. It's been a while.
Yeah, let's talk some baseball. But first, let's go through Brad's background. Talk about where you've come from, Brad, all you places you've been, because you got quite a resume for coming to the Rubber Ducks in the Beacon Journal.
Yeah, I actually started at the Medina Gazette way back. How long ago was that? It's probably like 1995, 96, somewhere in there. And then just kind of bounced around a little bit. I worked for ESPN for 2 years doing the recruiting during the Ezekiel Elliott and Joey Bosa and JT Barrett days. I've worked for Associated Press, Providence Journal, Boston Herald, Plain Dealer, Chronicle. You pretty much name the outlet in Ohio, especially, and I've at least worked at least one day or two with them.
Are you from Ohio?
I am from Ohio. I was actually born in Kittery, Maine, at an Air Force base. Moved here when we were 3, and have been here ever since.
What high school and all the rest of your education?
Went to Nordonia High School. Graduated in 1989, went to college, went to Ohio State, and then finished up at Akron with a bachelor's degree in mass media.
Now, growing up, favorite team, favorite player, who did you latch on to at an early age, team-wise and player-wise?
If you want to talk baseball, it was Andre Thornton. And then it was Corey Snyder. Those two, I would do anything in the world for, and I've always been a baseball junkie. I remember trading it. Listen to this. I traded a Brian Sipe card way back in the day for a Bob Gibson card, a Johnny Bench card. I also got Phil Negro in the deal, and I got Dave Concepcion just for Brian Sipe.
I love that. That's a great deal.
I know, it was a ripoff. I'll never forget it, because the guy wanted Brian Sipe, and I'm like, "You're going to give me all that for Brian? Okay," because I had 2 of them. So
you sat through the Lane Indian years like the rest of us did through the 70s and 80s.
I remember going to a game, and I remember Freddie Lynn getting heckled for he had styrofoam cups on his ears. It was a cold day. Dad went up to the ticket booth, and we got tickets right behind home plate.
And I miss those days. You could go to the ballpark then and sit anywhere you wanted to, basically. And one thing I think people forget this a lot, that there were really about 45 or 50,000 good seats in Cleveland Stadium, upstairs and downstairs.
For sure there were, and like you said, I mean, you could just walk up, get those seats, enjoy yourself, watch a ball game. And I remember back in the days when there were double headers, when the Yankees came to town, you could watch a double header, make a whole day of it.
I miss those days of the double headers so much. Nobody else does, I guess, but you and I guess. And I thought maybe they might come back at some point, and they possibly still could. Now, what led you to the career? What made you think I want to be a writer? What got you going in that direction?
Well, it's funny. I've always been a sports guy my entire life, and I was actually at Akron way into my major, and I was going to be a physical therapist, and then I saw a knee surgery, and I'm like, nope, I'm not going to do that. I could not handle that. And then I got to thinking, and I'm like, you know what? I love sports, and I'm a pretty good writer. Went over to the Book Delight. And ever since, it's just been one huge love affair.
What was your first story to get you a byline in a big paper?
Listen to this. The first story I ever wrote that got me a byline was about Denver winning the Super Bowl, and I forgot to put the final score in the first paragraph.
Denver, that's why I think. It'd be just because it was Denver.
It probably was back then, and I was all excited, and I get the paper, and I look at it, and I'm like, this is my first byline, and then I look at it, I'm like, I never put the final score.
And, folks, I think, don't realize at times that when they see a guy who's on a baseball beat like you are, but you did not always just cover baseball. You tell us what all you have covered.
Oh, I will tell you this. There is not a sport I don't think that I haven't covered. I've covered cross country, football, soccer, wrestling for sure, basketball, track, baseball, softball. I mean, anything at the high school level other than, actually, you know what, other than nothing, I've covered, at least one time I've covered every sport at the high school level. I covered Ohio State for years, probably for about 15 years. Got to go to a couple national championships and watch them play. I got to watch Brady Quinn get his butt kicked by Ohio State in Phoenix the one year. I mean, I've covered professional golf. I got to watch my favorite story of all time is when the senior PGA was over at Firestone that year when they lost I think back then it was the NEC Invitational. My job, listen to this job, I had to follow around Arnold Palmer and Chichi Rodriguez for a day. It was the greatest thing ever because I grew up listening to stories from my dad about those two, and then here I am watching them.
You know, it's funny you talk about golf. Some of my fondest memories was when I covered the World Series of golf back in the 80s and got to follow Nicklaus around. But as a kid, I was able to carry the pole and keep score at the Old American Golf Classic about 67. In fact, I still have my badges from the American Golf Classic. And it was great to watch those guys up close like that.
And the thing is they're so laid back. They're so engaging with the fans. That's what I like the most about it, is because you're literally 4 feet away from them, and you know they'll acknowledge the fans. They're not, you know, robots just trying to get to the next hole.
Great days of golf here. I really hope we get them back at some point with the big tour, but you know that's always out of our control. You know, now what was your first year of covering the RubberDucks?
It was David Wallace's second to last year when they won the title.
Okay.
Was that 2016?
I think.
I believe 2016. They had that ragtag team at the end, and they got to the playoffs, and everybody was kind of like, well, you know, this will be fun. At least we had a good year. And then all of a sudden, Eric Haas takes off, and it was just a crazy set of circumstances that they won the title.
What draws you to minor league baseball?
I'm telling you, it is really the interaction between not only ball player, media, ball player, fan, but the fan. The fan is a true fan. You know, a lot of times you go to Indians games and there's a lot of corporate there, right? There's a lot of people there who are just there to be there because that's what it's the thing to do. A minor league fan loves the game. He loves to watch the player development. He loves to watch, or she loves to watch that person who's eventually going to be in the big leagues work his way through. You know, maybe he's deficient, you know, when as a pitcher, he's deficient at hitting that outside corner, and you watch a guy develop. The true fan is a minor league baseball fan because they're just for the love of the game, and they're just to watch that player get better and get on to the next level.
That was Brad Bournival. And this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks is brought to you in part by Precious Cargo Trailways and Scene 75 Entertainment Center, all partners on RubberDucks broadcast this season. We'll be right back on At Home with the RubberDucks right after this.
You're listening to At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO, your new home for Akron RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Are you looking for a great apartment with the best location? Fir Hill Towers Apartments is just a 5-minute walk to the University of Akron or a 5-minute drive downtown. You'll find spacious living, convenience, and fun with a wide variety of restaurants and entertainment just outside your door. Perfectly suited for young professionals and students on the go looking for off-campus living. Stop by 55 First Street Hill, Akron, or call 330-762-7000. That's 330-762-7000 today and reserve your apartment home.
There aren't many things in life that are easy. There's easy listening music, easy chairs, easy money. But did you know that you can enjoy all three while getting rid of your old energy-wasting refrigerator? You can schedule a pickup without moving from your easy chair. We'll haul it away and even pay you for it. So go ahead, take it easy, and let us take it from here. First Energy's Ohio Utilities will pick up your fridge, and you'll get $50. Just visit EnergySaveOhio.com to schedule a pickup. Now that's easy.
What's better than a good steak? A great steak at a great value in a fun place. Texas Roadhouse. From fall off the bone ribs to made from scratch sides, we've got something for everybody. Great steak at a great value. Texas Roadhouse. Located at 4310 Lake Point Corporate Drive in Stowe, and now offering drive-through, carry-out, and curbside service. Visit texasroadhouse.alohaorderonline.com or call 330-920-9844.
Bridgestone Drive Guard tires deliver a clutch performance that won't leave you stranded on the side of a rural road or a busy highway. They're engineered to take a puncture and to keep running up to 50 miles after a flat at 50 miles an hour. Plus, you'll get the smooth, quiet ride and impressive tread wear life you've come to expect from Bridgestone tires. Let the clutch performance of Bridgestone Drive Guard tires give you peace of mind. Bridgestone, proud sponsor of the Akron RubberDucks.
Here at Sarah Auto Park, community service has always been a priority of ours. These days, that spirit is more important than ever. Join us as we do everything we can to take care of our doctors, nurses, all other essential businesses, and their employees. If our community needs us for anything, even to safely get a bag of groceries to our most vulnerable, we're here. We'll get through this together. Sarah Auto Park.
No savvy traveler likes long lines or waiting around. So, lucky for you, the Akron-Canton Airport is easy and fast. With affordable on-site parking, quick check-in, and short security lines, you'll be through the airport in just minutes. CAK gives you more freedom to enjoy the things you love, like vacationing. With low fares to 11 nonstop destinations and just one stop to the world, book your next adventure from CAK.
RubberDucks fans, check out City Barbecue in Fairlawn for the best barbecue in town.
I gotta tell you, City Barbecue is the best smoked meats I've ever experienced in my life.
Literally the best beef brisket sandwich I've ever had.
Definitely the best barbecue I've ever had.
My best all-around barbecue experience ever.
Best barbecue around.
Some of the best barbecue I've personally tasted.
I highly recommend this spot for some of the best BBQ you'll ever have.
Visit citybarbecue.com or stop by 2870 West Market Street in Fairlawn.
Everyone at Honda wants you to be safe. And right now, you need a car you can count on and your dealer to go the extra mile. So if your Honda needs parts or service, we're right here ready to help. Working to follow all government guidelines in order to get you what you need and help you stay safe with a reliable car that's ready to go when you need it.
Visit NorthernOhioHondaDealers.com.
This is At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO.
Relay home, it is not in time. Two-run double by Mejia. Akron now leads it 6-2.
Your new home for RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Welcome back. This is Jim Clark, and this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks is brought to you in part by Suma Health and Visit Jacksonville, both presenting RubberDucks baseball this season on 640 WHLO. Now the conclusion of my talk with Brad Bournival. What were your thoughts when Lindor first came to Akron?
I love that dude. I love that guy. I think he is great for Cleveland. He's great for the city. And I've always thought that, even back then you saw it. You saw that glimpse. There are a couple players that you see that you know immediately that's the guy. I remember when Shane Bieber came. He didn't pitch here very long at all, but you knew. There are certain players, you're like, that's the guy.
When Frankie came, what impressed me was the first day was just a zoo for him. Everyone, you remember, they were all over him, not much space to talk. The next day I walk over, he goes, "Hi, Jim." I thought, well, wait a minute now. Here's a 20-year-old kid who I blow by for 15 seconds. He remembers my name that day. We didn't talk a lot after that, just time to time, but that impressed me that someone that young understood what was going on around him as well as he did.
And it's funny when you talk about that, because you remember the Tim Tebow circus a couple of years ago. But, you were there talking to him as well. That might be the most engaging guy I've ever talked to, and he reminded me a lot of the way he carried himself, a lot like Frankie, just because he could be like, you know what, no, man, I need a day. But he was there, he answered everybody's questions, went above and beyond, knowing it was going to be a circus, and just went out and played the game.
And answered the same questions every day from a different face.
Exactly. And, that's got to be tough. That's the other side of it. A lot of people don't see that, especially at the professional level. You go from city to city, it's the same questions all the time. And especially when baseball starts back, how many times is Frankie going to answer the Cleveland question? Are you staying in Cleveland? It's going to come up every time, but every time he'll do it the way he's always done it, with that smile on his face. And Frankie's probably my favorite current player as far as dealing with, because he's always there for you. He's always got time.
This baseball season, of course, is yet to start. Did you ever think we'd see something like this go on in our country?
Never. And I'm telling you, as somebody who's a busybody and likes to be doing things, it's driving me crazy. I don't know if you've watched the NASCAR that's on Sundays. Like, it looks so real, and I watch every second of it just because it's competition. It's sports. It's a video game, sure, but it's all the drivers that are racing the cars. I watched I think I watched every second of the draft just because it was live sports.
Yes.
So this whole thing of sitting around and waiting, for those busybodies like me, I feel sorry for you guys because, oh my gosh, it's driving me nuts.
Are your wife's cookies right beside you? I hope not.
No, but I found the quarantine 15.
Yeah, I think everybody has a little bit. As we sit and wait, what will it take to get us back going with baseball to you?
To me, a lot of this is just common sense. Like, I see the games are going to start happening. There was a story a couple of days ago where a organization in St. Louis had a youth baseball tournament. It was one of those travel ball tournaments. And, they were like, hey, you can drop out if you want, or anything like that. And they had, the dugouts sectioned off for 6 feet, and you had to take your turn and go in there. I just think it's common sense. A lot of it's common sense. When these parks open and they open to fans, if the social distancing is still there, you're going to have to block them off. You're going to have to do things like that. Now, the food stuff, I don't know how they're going to do, but just common sense and just smart thinking is going to get not only this country going, but it'll get sports going again. You have to make smart choices.
That's very well said. Common sense, making the right choice, and the social distance to me has been the key from the beginning. I wanted masks back in March just for a self-safety factor, but it's getting better. Hopefully we'll find the right thing and get baseball back on the field. Now, for you you have a love of wrestling. Where did that come from?
Back when I was in high school, well, actually way back before that, Nordonia has always been a good team. Nordonia won the state championship in 1976-77. I was 6 and 7 years old. So I cut my teeth on that. And Longwood Y with Coach, with Chanel there and everything. And Nordonia always had a good team. My 4 years in high school, I had a 2-time state champ. I had two 2-time state champs, a 4-time state placer. So it started way back then. And I knew I wrestled until 7th or 8th grade, but I knew I wasn't going to make the team because all those guys that I just talked about were in my weight classes. And then just, you go off to college, you forget about it. But then when I came back into the high school scene, man, it hit, and it's I've been to Fargo. I've been to 2 NCAA national championships. I was going to Minnesota this year before it got canceled. It's in St. Louis next year. I'm going to try to get there. It'll be in Detroit the year after that. It's just something, and I think it's the individual, Jim. I think it's in wrestling, if you lose, you lose, and there's nobody to blame but yourself. In basketball, you can blame, the point guard that threw the ball out of bounds, the running back that fumbled the ball. In baseball, the pitcher had a bad day. In wrestling, no. You lost because you lost. And I think I like that the best.
What a shame for all the high school and collegiate athletes to have their senior years play out like this. What a shame.
And it's you feel for these kids because, they put their heart and soul, like a couple of the wrestlers I was talking about. You fall short as a junior, and you spend all that time in the summer getting ready. You are right there at the cusp, and then it's taken away. It's just got to be disheartening. But, a lot of them, Dom Loparo is a perfect example. He's a Wadsworth kid, and he was very upset initially. And now he's like, you know what? My health and my wellness is way more important than, one weekend as a senior. He's like, life is going to go on, and if doing what we're doing is fixing it and getting us back to where we should be, then it's worth the sacrifice.
That's well put by a young man. Brad, if folks are not reading you, they should be. I grew up in newspapers. I love newspapers. I always have. Everything's available to us now with the click here, a click there, but there's something about holding a newspaper in your hands, and I keep thinking things cycle back, and I sure wish they would with the newspapers.
I 100% agree. I miss the days of the Cleveland Press. That was my favorite newspaper growing up, and then when they went away, obviously it became the Beacon Journal. I read it cover to cover, but like you said, there is just something about holding a paper in your hand and turning the pages and, not scrolling down. I don't know what it is that I don't want to say it bothers me, because I read everything online now except for the newspapers. It's just that having that in your hand and, you're in control of where you go with your eyes and what you read and all that.
I grew up an Akron kid, and I would wager that I read the Beacon Journal every day until I left Akron. And that was until I was 28. And, my dad would always buy the PD in spring training, which was really neat because you got everybody's stories. Back then it was Jim Schlemmer covering the Indians from the Beacon, and then we threw into PD. And you're right, there's something about the newspaper, and folks need to read your stuff about the RubberDucks. Brad, stay safe. Thanks for taking time. Hopefully we'll see you live and in person at Canal Park.
Jim, I am so looking forward to that. I cannot wait.
Thank you, Brad. That was Brad Bournival from the Akron Beacon Journal. And thanks as well to Sam Hentges for talking earlier this week on the RubberDuck Q&A. And thanks most of all to you for listening. Join us next Sunday at 6 for another episode of At Home with the RubberDucks. We'll bring you these all season long until baseball comes back to Canal Park in downtown Akron. For Marco Lanave, I'm Jim Clark. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to At Home with the RubberDucks. To listen to previous shows or for more RubberDucks baseball, follow the Akron RubberDucks podcast on the iHeartRadio app. For the latest on the team, go to AkronRubberDucks.com and follow the Akron RubberDucks on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Akron RubberDucks Baseball. Affordable family fun.